Hello, what's more? Welcome back to the channel back here. YouTube doing the 2025 NFL predictions week number 14. As we get on into it today, it is week 14. 13 weeks are down, 5 weeks left to go. Last week, week 13, was one that I can throw in the garbage because I went 0-7 after going 7-0 back in week 12. Overall, it was a terrible week. I went 0-7. Terrible losses, terrible predictions for me last week. I don't know. It might be the first time I've ever been 0-7 in the 5 years I've done NFL predictions, but who knows? With that being said, we have some great games on the schedule, playoff implications to get started with. Let's start out on Thursday Night Football this week with the Dallas Cowboys and Detroit Lions, two teams coming off games on Thanksgiving. Cowboys coming off a 3-point win against the Chiefs 31-28. Well, the Lions come off a 7-point loss by a touchdown to the Packers 31-24. Speaking of these two teams that I picked the Lions to win, and I picked against the Cowboys, and the Cowboys won. So, two games that went terribly for me last week as I look into it. And overall, it's just one of those weeks where it was a garbage week for me. And, I still have a good record, though. But look at this matchup overall. You have Dak Prescott and Jared Goff, two teams, the Lions and Cowboys. Cowboys and Lions, two teams that still have chances to make the playoffs, still have chances maybe to compete within their divisions. I just don't know, where do these two teams go in Lions? I'm not really sure where they're going. They're either going to end up with a division win a division, or they're going to end up being a team that falls behind Green Bay and Chicago this year. But overall, Lions Cowboys, this game I expect to be a shootout this week. Cowboys, their team, they proved that they found ways to win after starting out bad with the tie that the Green Bay Packers are this year. The Cowboys have found ways to win. But overall, I think the Lions playing at home on Thursday, it's going to be loud. Detroit usually is a loud environment to play in on the road. I think that's going to be true this week coming up for the Cowboys, and I think it's going to affect them. With that being said, I think the Lions come away and pull off a win on Thursday Night Football. So give me the Lions and Jared Goff against Dak Prescott and the Cowboys to start us off on Thursday. Moving on, Sunday, Indianapolis Colts coming in, playing the Jaguars. Yeah, the Jaguars and Colts. Two teams. Indianapolis, I picked them to win, and they got upset by the Houston Texans on Sunday, a game they should have won. But now they have the same record as the Jaguars, and they're now in a tie for first place. Houston also making strides to come back. We'll talk about the Texans here shortly though. But look at the Colts and Jaguars, two teams, mirror images of one another. You have Daniel Jones, who has finally found reality in this season with Indianapolis. And now that that's happened, I guess the question is, can he find ways to continue the Colts trend and get them to a division title? I'm not so sure. Going on the road with the Jaguars, play Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has been to the playoffs before, a few times, but hasn't found ways to win in the postseason. You could say the Jaguars are just like the Bills in a way, but the Jaguars are one of those teams playing at home against the Colts this week. It's been one of those games where I see being a close game, but I think the Colts and Daniel Jones find a way to get back on track this week in the division race in the AFC South on the road on Sunday. Moving on, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. They're taking on the Ravens and Lamar Jackson this week in Baltimore. Steelers coming off a loss 26-7 to Buffalo. And Aaron Rodgers did not play well in that game on Sunday. Watching it, it was a tough matchup for him, a tough game for Rodgers and the Steelers. And this week, going against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, it's a battle of two teams that are 500, both sitting in first place, both sitting at the 6-6 tie in the division race. It's one of those games where the winner is going to have a clear advantage, a shot to win the division. Will it be the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers, or will it be the Ravens and Lamar Jackson? However, I think the Ravens playing at home. It's always tough to go into Baltimore. And the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, they've proved it over the last few years, won the division 2 years in a row. Can they get a win and win at home against the Steelers? I think the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers are going to be having issues again this week, but I think that they score more than 7 points this week for the Steelers. But I think it's going to be a tough one on the road. With that being said, give me the Ravens and Lamar Jackson with a huge win on Sunday afternoon. Moving on. Bo Nix, the Broncos, top dogs out in the AFC West, going to Las Vegas, take on the Raiders. Geno Smith. Broncos currently sit as a 2 seed. 5 weeks left. Chance to play. Playing the Vegas on the road. It should be a pretty easy game for Las Vegas. One of those teams this year in the AFC West that has not found their stride. They've not found ways to win this year, but they've found ways to give games up and blow it. With that being said, Bo Nix and the Broncos, they come in with the best record of the AFC West. Maybe a chance to win a division here in the next few weeks. With 5 weeks left to go, the Broncos, it's now or never for them. Because you have the Kansas City Chiefs who have 5 games left as well, and the Chargers as well behind you. Can you make plays to get games and win them on the road, and win games that are winnable games that need to win? After making the playoffs last year and losing to Buffalo on the road, the Broncos, they want to be a number 1 or 2 seed this year. They have a chance to be number 1 seed. All depends on what happens the rest of the way home. But this is going to be the toughest game for them on the road going to Vegas and Geno Smith. But I think the Broncos get it done in a good way, in an efficient way as well. Give me the Bo Nix and the Broncos on the road on Sunday. Moving on. Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams. After beating the Eagles last week, a game that I did predict they would win, they go to Green Bay to play Jordan Love of the Packers. Jordan Love of the Packers coming off a big win, as they did win on Thursday. Bears come off win, 24-15 in Philadelphia. And you can say this much. Bears, Caleb Williams and Bears, 9 out of 10 wins after starting 0-2. For the Packers, they've found ways to get the job done too. Jordan Love and the Packers. You could pretty much say the rest of the year in the NFC North is going to be Bears, Packers, and Lions division. 3-team race to finish it off. For the Bears, it all starts this week, individual play. 2 of the next 3 games over the next 3 weeks against Green Bay. It's going to be tough. Going on the road Green Bay, it's always tough to win in December. It's a lot of environment in December in Green Bay. Anytime they're in December and January in Green Bay, it's tough to win games. For the Bears, it's going to be a tough game this week. I think this game's going to be about which team can make the least amount of mistakes. It's about mistake-free football for the Bears and Packers this week. And with that being said, I think the Bears are going to come up short. I think Jordan Love, the Packers, find a way to get the job done on Sunday. With that being said, give the Packers and Jordan Love at home against the Bears in round 1 of 2 this season. Moving on, Sunday Night Football. Houston Texans. They're going to Kansas City to take on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'll say this much. I saw a thing on ESPN this morning while I was working out, and it was pretty much breaking down the Chiefs' final 5 games. Their final 5 games for the Chiefs, their chances to win, all over 50% in all 5. And if that happens, and if they can't go on a run and win 5 straight, the Chiefs will be 11-6 going into the playoffs. 11-6. Let that sink in. If they can win 5 in a row, 11-6, and hope the Broncos or the Chargers choke, which they need to happen, it will give the Chiefs a playoff berth, maybe a division title. But I think it all starts with Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes. The offensive line needs to protect him better. Offensive line has not protected him well this year. They've had so many issues. The defense, Chris Jones, Nick Bolton, some of those guys on defense for Chiefs are getting too tired, and it's late in the year. Chiefs need to find ways to make plays and be creative. If Patrick Mahomes can find hope, Travis Kelce gets open. Travis Kelce's not going to be guarded multiple times against 2 defenders guarding him. I think that's going to be a big issue for the Chiefs over the next 5 weeks. And Houston Texans is a team that last year they played and had a tough game against. But at the end of the day, I think the Chiefs find a way to get the job done, but barely. Comes down to the leg of Harrison Butker, the kicker, this week. That being said, give me the Kansas Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes at home against the Texans. Moving on, Monday Night Football. Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts headed to LA, play the Chargers after last week's loss to the Bears. And we've seen this time and time again for the Philadelphia Eagles this year, multiple times. One-score games for the Eagles. Last week was a one-score loss. I keep saying this every week about the Eagles. You cannot win games with 1 score or less. Unfortunately, that happens way too much this year for the Eagles, and it hurt them last week, losing by 9 points. A game they could have made it. The game they could have made. It was a 2-score game last week. They could have these the one score games though are the issues for the Eagles. They can't keep winning games with one score. And you go to LA Monday night, play the Chargers and Justin Herbert. It's gonna be a loud environment. Chargers are gonna be loud against you. A few weeks ago, I picked the Lions over the Eagles. The Eagles won 16-9, won by 8. Tough matchup, won by 7 at least. But tough matchup this week for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts going on there to LA. It's gonna be a tough one again, once more. At the end of the day, I think the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, find a way to get the job done to help their cause out in the division race. So give me the Eagles and Jalen Hurts for Monday night's game. That being said, here's a quick recap of who I'm taking this week. All starting Thursday night. In Detroit, I'm taking Jared Goff from the Lions over to Cowboys and Dak Prescott. In Jacksonville, I'm taking the Colts. Daniel Jones. They get a big win against the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. In Baltimore, I'm taking Lamar Jackson and the Ravens over the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers in a close one. In Vegas, I'm taking Bo Nix and the Broncos over the Raiders and Geno Smith. In Green Bay, I'm taking Jordan Love, the Packers over the Bears, and Calvin Williams. In Kansas City, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs over the Texans and C.J. Stroud. And on Monday Night Football, I'm taking the Jalen Hurts and the Eagles against the Chargers and Justin Herbert. On the road, hopefully get back in the win column after being on 7 last week. Comment below who your favorite team is playing this week, and if you think they will win. That being said, I'll see you right back here in the NFL prediction quick version coming up, and then on Monday night after the Eagles and Chargers, I'll see you in the NFL prediction recap Monday night after the Chargers and Eagles game. Hope everyone enjoys the week. Bye for now. Have a good week, and stay safe out there, and I'll see you next week, week 15, right back here next Tuesday. Bye for now. Have a good week. I'll see you then. Have a good day, everyone, and stay safe out there. See ya, and bye for now.